Want to know why? Ask how. Howard the Humongous. On January 25th, Meta's president of global affairs, Nick Clegg, announced that Donald Trump will be reinstated on Facebook and Instagram. Clegg is not just any old corporate executive. He is the former Deputy Prime Minister of England. Trump's account was suspended for 2 years on January 7th, the day after the violent events of January 6th. When he was exiled, Trump had the most followed account on Facebook. Now Facebook and Instagram are allowing Trump to return, but with what Clegg calls, quote, new guardrails, close quote, to prevent a repeat of the mayhem of January 6th. I have deeply personal feelings about this story. I have spent 50 years fighting censorship. Yet in the last 6 years, the idea of freedom of speech has hit a snag. Some figures are trying to generate insurrections on the internet. Some figures are trying to trigger an armed overthrow of the democratic system and of the Constitution. Some are trying to use freedom of speech to end freedom of speech. Even worse, some support the QAnon idea of the storm, a cataclysmic event in which Democratic congresspeople and senators will be lined up and executed, along with anyone else considered a part of the globalist pedophile elite. In other words, to repeat, freedom of speech is being used in an effort to end freedom of speech. One of those supporting the mass murder of duly elected politicians is Marjorie Taylor Greene, the woman jockeying to become the vice presidential candidate in the 2024 campaign of Donald Trump. But the king of the insurrectionists is Donald Trump himself. And Donald Trump is a lifelong con man and criminal. In the 1990s, Trump stole from those who helped him build the opulence of his Atlantic City Taj Mahal. To turn the Taj Mahal into the eighth wonder of the world, Trump worked with over 100 contractors and agreed to pay them preset amounts for their labor. When they finished their work, Trump either paid them far less than the agreed amount or did not pay them at all. That's theft. And theft is a crime. From 2005 to 2010, Trump conned the savings out of retirees with his Trump University. Trump University employees encouraged senior citizens to empty their savings accounts and max out all of their credit cards in order to learn Trump's personal secrets for wealth, strategies that would make them rich. But the courses these Trump University students got in exchange contained no Trump secrets, just rehashed material from old standard real estate courses. In other words, Trump stole money from the most helpless among us. That's a crime. In 2016, Donald Trump brought his criminal mentality to the White House, which is why many pundits felt that he was running the West Wing like a mob boss. It was Donald Trump who did not tell militia groups that want an armed civil war, like the Proud Boys and the Three Percenters, to put down their weapons, go home, and become peaceful participants in our democracy. No, President Trump told them to stand down and stand by, meaning that they should remain at the ready to come when he called them. They should act as Trump's private army. It was Donald Trump who at his rallies told crowds to knock the crap out of protesters. I'll pay legal fees. And it was Donald Trump who told over 30,000 lies during his 4 years in office. According to Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana, many of us think that Trump does not read books. That's not true, she said. He keeps 2 books by his bed and reads them before he goes to sleep at night. The 2 books are Mein Kampf and My New Order, a collection of speeches. The author of both books is Adolf Hitler, and Trump apparently reads Hitler's words as how-to lessons. Why? Hitler overturned a democratic government and made himself dictator without ever receiving more than 37% of the vote. He did it with squads of bully boys, very much like today's Boogaloo Boys, Three Percenters, and Proud Boys. I don't want to see Hitler's kind of bully boy takeover happen here in the United States. So the idea of Donald Trump on Facebook, and more important on Twitter, makes me queasy. This is Howard Bloom, speaking to you from the future. It's your job and my job to make, or, want to know why? Ask how.